Some may notice about me, some may not. I used to have polyamorous views when it came to relationships. I was open to being open. Like, I'm in a relationship with a woman, and I was open to having other relationships. And I wasn't opposed to her having other relationships either. A lot of people don't know, I used to be married. I was married when I was 19. I was married for 2 years. I got married at 19, divorced at 21. And the way that happened and the way it ended, it started a vicious cycle for me, and it greatly affected the way I viewed relationships. By the time I got into my late 20s, I had came to a conclusion that, traditional relationships don't work for me. And what I said to myself was, my energy's too big, or the way I love is too different for it to fit, a monogamous role. So I said, okay, well, polyamory is. For me, it wasn't necessarily about sex. It was more so about love and connections, because when I look back into my life and my childhood, a lot of connections and love was robbed from me. By the time I got into my adulthood and, like I said, my late 20s, I wanted to create something that made sense from the way I expressed myself. And for me, that was polyamory, and what I came to realize for me personally is that my want to be poly and my want to be open was actually an insecurity, because I was afraid that I could not find one woman to love me, and cherish me and nurture me in the ways that I felt like I wanted, and so I kept other women around in the attempt to fill those voids that I had. I didn't even look at them as voids, and my view on relationship at that time of polyamory made me not see, that I was hurting myself. I was hurting myself and I was selling myself short. These days, a lot of people talking about, polyamory, poly relationships, openness, this and that. But for me personally, that's not what I want. That's not what I ever wanted. I came to that conclusion out of fear, out of inadequacy, out of not wanting to discipline myself and do the work, in me. I wanted to be open because I was really closed, to my deepest desire. My deepest desire is to be a husband, to one wife. My deepest desire is to have kids, and to build a legacy and share a legacy, and to laugh, to cry, to love, to heal, to build, to travel, to get rich, to argue, to fight, to all that with one woman and grow old with that one woman. And even this is something that I could not express before, out of fear of revealing myself in that way. And I had to go that route to learn these things about myself, and from this vantage point, I can honestly, comfortably and confidently say that I think I'll be a great husband one day, and I think I'll be a great father one day. And I couldn't express those things before because I didn't know myself in that way. And honestly, I didn't love myself in that way. And as a man, you have to love yourself first, and you have to be comfortable and confident within yourself first. The root word of confidence is confide. You have to confide in yourself first, and that builds confidence, and that confidence is then contagious, and that confidence will lead you to the right woman. So I can honestly admit those things now, on this microphone, on camera. You heard me that I couldn't express before, and I was afraid to express before, and in full transparency, I know what I want because I know who I am, and I know who I'm becoming, and you got to know those things first before you attempt to love and intertwine and express on the highest level, because if you don't, you end up hurting yourself and hurting other people, and that's not the goal. It's damn sure ain't my goal. My goal is to love and live and be my authentic self, and my authentic self, wants a wife.